I've had the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra for over a year now, and it's been one of my favorite smartphones of the past year. And with the S26 Ultra just a month away, it's the perfect time to look back at my experience and see if it's still worth getting. Now, initially, I want to talk about the build design and durability. As you can see, my S25 Ultra, even after a year of use, is pretty much in brand new, immaculate condition. And that's because I'm not a crazy person who uses this naked. I use this with a case like most other people. Now, I have been changing cases over the past year, but the one that I've been using most, as you can see from how much it's yellowed or oranged, is this Spigen Neo 1 case. This video is not sponsored by Spigen. I just like their cases. And with this case, despite dropping this multiple times, even on concrete, it's been absolutely fine. So my recommendation would always be to use the case. Now for the display, I don't have any visible scratches, and that's even though I've been using this mostly without a screen protector. Now let's talk about screen protectors. So the S25 Ultra may just have my favorite display out there on any smartphone, and that is because of Gorilla Armor 2, which makes this anti-reflective. Now here's the thing, if you use a regular screen protector on top of this, then you're going to be putting a barrier in front of that anti-reflective screen, and then you're going to lose that anti-reflectiveness. So personally, if you ask me, I would use the S25 Ultra with a case, but without a screen protector to make the most of Gorilla Armor 2. Now, I don't want anybody to come back to me and say, hey Saf, you told me not to use a screen protector and now my screen is scratched. That's totally up to you. I'm just saying personally, I don't think you necessarily need a screen protector, especially if you want to maintain the anti-reflectiveness of Gorilla Armor 2. Now, if you do want to be extra safe, which I totally get, and you use a screen protector, my advice would be to register the same fingerprint multiple times. And that's because we have the ultrasonic in-display fingerprint scanner on here. And I just generally find that as soon as you put a screen protector, it's not as effective. So registering it twice will just help. Now, if you are a crazy person that uses your smartphone without a case, I'm kidding by the way, then it may be important to you that the S25 Ultra has a titanium frame. And this may be the last Galaxy S Ultra device with a titanium frame, because rumors are that the S26 Ultra will not have a titanium frame. So if a titanium frame is important to you, you might want to opt for this rather than getting the S26 Ultra. It's also going to be the last chance for you to get one of the exclusive colors of the S25 Ultra. So I've got the titanium silver blue, which is nice, has a two-tone finish. But the three exclusive colors available from Samsung.com, the titanium jade green, the titanium jet black, and the titanium pink gold. Boy, I'm going to be glad not having to say titanium so many times for the S26 Ultra. Those three colors will likely no longer be available after the S26 Ultra is released. So if you do want to get one of those exclusive colors, check out my affiliate link down in the description below. Now, apart from that, we've got these camera discs, which have had a bit of a mixed opinion. Mine have stayed intact, they've not come off. I've not really heard of anybody else's coming off, apart from when Zach actually popped them off in his durability video. Again, these are also going to be gone for the S26 Ultra, which is rumored to have a camera island similar to what we've got on the Fold series. Now, you've heard me talk about the S26 Ultra a lot, and that's because I know a lot of you guys will also be interested in that. And the good news is that I have been working on a detailed leaks and rumors roundup of the S26 Ultra. That's going to be coming very soon. So be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon if you haven't already to see that first. Now, let's talk a little bit about S Pen. So how often have I actually used the S Pen over the past year? Well, I would say my personal usage has been about once or twice a week. I don't use it too much. It's one of those things that's nice to have, even though you might not need it all the time. I'm sure there's lots of people out there who don't use it whatsoever. The one controversial thing with the S25 Ultra was that the S Pen no longer supported Bluetooth, so we didn't have any remote functionality like we've had with previous Galaxy S Ultra devices. Now, the main thing I used to use the S Pen remotely for with my S24 Ultra was to trigger the camera if I wanted to take a group photo or something like that. With the S25 Ultra, there has literally just been one occasion in the past year when I was missing the remote trigger, and that's when I was trying to take a group picture with some of my friends. I had the S25 Ultra on a tripod, and I was like, oh, this doesn't work anymore. But I do have my Ring now. I know not everybody has a Ring and it's just not the same. Is it a deal breaker? Well, for me, no, because again, there is just the one occasion that I missed it. It might be a deal breaker for you, and if that is the case, then you might want to opt for the S24 Ultra, which is still a good device because, bad news, the S26 Ultra is not going to have Bluetooth functionality on the S Pen again. Now let's talk about the cameras. So I have taken thousands of images and videos with my S25 Ultra over the past year, and I think it has a great all-round camera package. Yes, there may be other devices that are better in certain areas, but when we're looking at the overall package, for the primary camera, the ultra-wide, the telephoto cameras, the selfie camera, video, images, then the S25 Ultra performs very well in all of these areas. Now, having said that, there has been fierce competition on the Android side, and we've got devices like the Vivo X300 Pro and the Oppo Find X9 Pro, which do take better images compared to the S25 Ultra overall, I would say. Now, there is one area where I would say that the S25 Ultra has been overtaken subjectively, and that is with extended zoom. So, you've heard me say this before, but in my opinion, the S25 Ultra had the best extended zoom on any smartphone. But things have really changed over the past year, and that's because of AI enhanced zoom. So we've got devices like the Google Pixel 10 Pro, as well as the Honor Magic 8 Pro, for example, as well as many others. And these use AI enhanced zoom when you go past a certain level. Now, what this essentially does is it uses the photo you've taken, and then it uses AI to pretty much give you a fake image, which looks way better. And you may have seen my extended zoom test of the S25 Ultra versus the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL. And generally speaking, most extended zoom shots look better on the Pixel 10 Pro XL because of that AI enhanced zoom. Now, one area where the S25 Ultra is better is when it comes to text. And that's because when you are zooming into text, the AI enhanced zoom usually just kind of makes stuff up. It's not capturing what's exactly there. So this is where the S25 Ultra is still better, I would say. But I wonder if Samsung can kind of do a combination of these two things and create even better zoom for the next version. But once again, the S25 Ultra just gives you a great all-around camera package, especially for video. This has some of the best video on Android, and you can shoot 8K from the ultra-wide, the primary, as well as the telephoto camera. Now let's move on to performance. So the S25 Ultra has been one of the best performing smartphones of last year. And honestly speaking, there is nothing that I've thrown at it that has given me any issues. And that's expected, to be honest, because we do have the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy. Now, granted, there are newer devices out now which have the 8 Elite Gen 5, and those are going to give you higher benchmark scores, they're going to give you better frame rates for games, and they're also going to be more efficient. However, how much does that matter in the day-to-day, especially for a device that's a year old? I would not say that much. I would say that when it comes to performance, the S25 Ultra is going to last you a good few years more, and that's also because of the software. So as you may or may not know, Samsung has promised 7 generations of Android OS updates on the S25 Ultra. And even though we're a year in, that still leaves you with 6 more years. I've had multiple updates on my S25 Ultra, and it's currently on Android 16 with One UI 8. And this makes it a great long-term phone. Whether you've already got this or you're thinking of buying it, I'd be confident that you'll be fine with this for at least another few years. I've also said this many times before, but to me, Samsung has the most complete AI package on any smartphone. So we've of course got Gemini. So all of the goodness that comes with Gemini is on the S25 Ultra. We've also got Bixby, which is kind of less useful. And that's because although Bixby can do certain things Gemini can't, it's very confusing having 2 different assistants on the same smartphone. I would prefer if Samsung kind of combined these somehow. So for example, if I ask Gemini, turn off the always on display.
I can't help with that, but you should be able to make the change in settings.
So Gemini can't help with that. But if I went on to Bixby, turn off the always on display.
All right, I turned off always on display.
Nice and easy. Now, to me as a user, this experience is very disjointed. I shouldn't have to worry about which voice assistant to activate for what. I should just ask my phone and it should instantly figure out which voice assistant to use and take me to that based on my request. Now that's something that Samsung can maybe work on with software updates, but currently as it stands, I pretty much never use Bixby and I always use Gemini. But apart from that, the Galaxy AI features are super useful. Some of them I use more than others. I mean, things like call assist and the interpreter feature are only useful if you're traveling, and if you're somebody who doesn't travel too much or doesn't travel to places where you don't understand the language, then this is something you're pretty much never going to use. I only used the interpreter feature when I was in South Korea a couple of months ago, and it was super useful, but only during that trip. Now, one of the features I use pretty much all the time is summarize in browsing assist. So if you're on a web page and you just want a summary of that web page and you don't want to go through all of the cookies, which is super annoying on lots of websites, you can simply summarize and it's going to give you a very good summary of that web page. Now, this is perfect for long articles or something where you just want a brief overview, and it's something that I use all the time. I also absolutely love generative edit for images. You guys have seen the examples. You can literally cover half of your face and Galaxy AI will fill in that for you. And this is especially impressive when you compare it to cleanup on the iPhone, which is just so bad. Now, one thing that I would have liked is a feature called AI outpainting, which we have on the Honor Magic 8 Pro. And this lets you expand images and uses AI to fill in the gaps. Now, with the S25 Ultra, although you can rotate images and it will fill in some of those gaps, it's just not the same. If you've got, say, a landscape image and you're like, I want to use this as my profile picture for social media, and you want to turn it into a square image, on the Honor Magic 8 Pro, you can do this really easily with AI outpainting, and I absolutely love it. This is a feature that I would love to see within Galaxy AI, so maybe Samsung can bring it to us in a future update. Now let's talk about the battery life. So I would say that the S25 Ultra has been giving me good battery life, which has dropped slightly over the past year, but it still does get me through the day. And if you look at the S25 Ultra in isolation, I would say, yeah, it's fine. It's got good battery life. But when we put this up against the competition, it really does fall behind. With the likes of the OnePlus 15 or the Oppo Find X9 Pro, which are using silicon carbon technology, those devices can easily give me 1.5 or even up to 2 days of usage. Whereas in comparison on the S25 Ultra, I'm getting around about a day. Now, granted, silicon carbon technology is still pretty new and there are still some question marks around the long-term usage of silicon carbon technology. But for now, at this point in time, there are other devices that perform way better when it comes to battery life compared to the S25 Ultra. So if you are a heavy user and excellent battery life is a priority for you, then I would definitely look at some of those competitors. The S26 Ultra is rumored to have around a 5,400 mAh battery, which is going to be slightly larger, but once again, it doesn't go to the level of 7,000 plus that we have on others. Now, charging as well has been okay, not crazy. I mean, generally, I just drop this on a wireless charger overnight, and that seems to work fine. But once again, there is much faster charging with the competition, and we don't have any built-in magnets on the S25 Ultra. So that means if you want Qi2 capability, then you are going to have to use a compatible case with magnets. This is something else that I would have liked to have seen built in. So overall, lots of positives for the S25 Ultra with some negatives, but I can still recommend this device at this point in time. And that's because the price has now dropped since it released a year ago. So right now you can get this for around about £900 on Amazon. I'll leave some links down in the description below. But if you are interested in getting the S25 Ultra, if you ask me, I would personally wait until the S26 Ultra is out, because no doubt the S25 Ultra price will drop even further. Samsung also has lots of great pre-order deals when new devices are released. A lot of those pre-order deals are no longer available for the S25 Ultra. So once again, if you wait until the S26 Ultra is released, that will give you a better idea and you can make more of an informed decision. However, if you are currently getting a very good deal on the S25 Ultra, or you can pick it up second-hand for a good price, then I think the S25 Ultra is an amazing all-round device and you're going to be very happy with it. That's what I think anyway. What do you guys think? Drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. As mentioned, I am working on a detailed S26 Ultra leaks and rumors roundup video. If you want to see that first, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon. There will also be lots of hands-on coverage when the new devices are out, as well as SuperSaf style comparisons. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then do smash that like button for me. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time.